9.22. So, we know, so yesterday you learned what is called the U-Substitution, but we learned what was the power chain rule of integration. And the power chain rule of integration is basically the same thing. And now, I do want to note that the power chain rule is not something you need to use all the time. Sometimes the problem is already written in a way that you can just take the integral. But you can assume that most every problem that's on your homework requires it. And the power chain rule is basically like the power rule. It says that the integral of u to the n du is equal to u to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. Now, I also want to note that we said that this was equal, this is the same thing as 1 over n plus 1 parentheses, u to the n plus 1 plus c. Now, just remember that if you start, the problem is given to you in terms of x or t or whatever variable it's given to you, that you finish your problem and resubstitute back into that. So I just wanted to do a little bit more examples in here. So, for example, we had some problems that were on the little bit more straightforward side. And on most of these problems, like I said, some of them you just need to do the substitution, but some of them, usually if you see two variables multiplied by each other, that is a sign of doing substitution. Now, when taking derivatives, when you saw things being multiplied by each other, that could have meant the chain rule, that could have meant the product rule, that could have meant the quotient rule, if you, depending on how you did your substitution or cleaned up your algebra. But there is no product rule. There is no quotient rule. So as such, you just need to clean up the algebra, and you should find some type of baby that is trapped inside parentheses to some power. Now, something also to realize is that the derivative of that baby should be there hanging around somewhere else. Now, in today's homework, we're just working on a handout of the examples we did on Delta Math for homework. All of the substitutions, all of the babies will be power functions, meaning that you could rewrite them as something to a power, plus or minus, and other powers and so forth. So, for example, I do something like x cubed, parentheses, x to the 4th plus 6 to the 5th power dx. I can clearly see here in this example that there is a u, which is going to be what in this problem? What's trapped? X to the 4th plus 6. And du would be the derivative of this, 4x cubed dx. All right. Same thing as saying du dx equals 4x cubed. However, the trick here is that we want to get the x by itself. And this is the method that I teach. There's another method where you can say, well, I need a 4x cubed. So if I put a 4 here, I can write a 1/4 out here. That's another method you might see from some other people. I don't teach it this way. I find that's a little bit trickier to do, and it involves only specific cases. So I like to do things that are always going to work. And so, you know, if it's a 4 over here, we multiply by 1/4 on both sides. So you should be able to quickly see that 1/4 du equals x cubed dx. And the idea here is that there's the x cubed dx. If there was another constant hanging around, just don't forget to factor it out and leave it there inside the problem. Now, that 1/4 could be inside the integral, like I stated in my video, but we can just pull it out to the very front in the beginning and think of this as 1/4 the integral of du. So when I write the integral of du, I'm going to have an extra 1/4 outside. So 1/4 the integral of du. Now this is taken care of in my substitutions, which is the 1/4 and the du. So now I just get u to the 5th du. And basically all the problems are going to become like this tonight and tomorrow as well. every problem will be some constant, that constant could be 1, the integral of u to some power du. There should not be any x's hanging around left over after this. Every single problem today and tomorrow, as well as it was on Delta Math, becomes some constant times the integral of u to a power du. Okay? That's the power rule, because now it's just a simple integration. Now we can just say this is 1/4 parentheses u to the 6. So that's a 1/6 plus c, which gives me an answer of 1/24 u, but what is u? X to the 4th plus 6 to the 6 plus the constant of integration. And that's my answer. All right, now some problems like this one, you didn't have to do any algebra to do anything for this problem at all. However, there's going to be some problems that are going to require some extra algebra. Problems when the u is rational, meaning that x is in a denominator. Problems where x is a radical, meaning something like square root of x, which is like the most common one. So I want to just knock out 2 quick more examples of that. So in this example, again, I want to do something that's a little bit different than what's on here. We'll have 5 square root, no. Parentheses, square root of x plus 1 to the 3rd over the square root of x dx. And the reason why I bring this one up in here is because we want to clean everything up before we get to the problem. Bring everything, all the powers to make them so that there is no denominator inside these ones. That's going to be what's best for you. So in cleaning this problem up, I get the 5 I can pull out outside the integral to start with. And then this becomes what? Algebra. What does square root of x plus 1 become? X to the 1/2 plus 1 to the 3rd power times x to the negative 1/2 dx. All right, and so sometimes we always think, oh, if it's in the denominator, that's my u. That's not always true, except if your u has a power function that is less than 1, then its denominator will be negative. The power will be negative of its derivative, and therefore in the denominator. And so now we just do our same thing. U is equal to what's trapped? What's trapped? X to the 1/2 plus 1. So du would be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 dx. Therefore, multiply the constant out. We want to get the constant away. 2 du. Multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that 1/2, equals x to the negative 1/2 dx. In order to bring the 1/2 over from next to the dx, you multiply by 2 to bring it to the other side. It's always going to be on the opposite piece on the other side of the fraction. Equal sign. So remember, don't forget the 5. So this becomes 5 times 2 integral, okay, because that's 2 du. It's going to be 2 the integral of du. And what's my u? What is my u going to be in this problem? That's not a u. Can't say x. You're no longer saying x. This is my u. So what does it become? It's always u to a power. Just u cubed. That's it. The premise here is this is my u, and this, so this is u, and this becomes 1/2 du. So you're just going to erase it basically, or this whole thing right here becomes 1/2 du. So that becomes u cubed. Again, if you're saying the word x, you've already done it wrong. All right? Because it just, everything's substituted out. It's replaced. You're changing the variables. which gives me 10 parentheses u to the 3 plus 1 is 4. 1/4 plus c, which gives me an answer of 5/2 parentheses square root of x, which is u, plus 1 to the 4th plus c. Replace it back. If you want to take an extra step and write it as u, but you're just wasting your time because you've already done that, you should be finalizing your answer in terms of x alone. One last example, and then I'm going to release you because I am running out of air over here. The integral of 3 over x squared times 1 over x plus 5 to the 3rd dx. Again, sometimes it's kind of should be easy to realize what is my u at this point. You practice. I spend a lot of time in derivatives having you recognize what the baby is. However, as I taught you and I've guided you, I've told you, let's rewrite it all and clean up all the algebra beforehand. This is a strategy. Can you get around doing this problem in a much different way? When I look at this problem, this is typically a multiple choice problem. I can quickly realize that this is my u right here, 1 over x plus 5. Therefore, in my final answer, I better see a 1 over x plus 5, or an x to the negative 1 plus 5. That will usually eliminate 1 or 2 of the choices in a multiple choice, because the baby always hangs around, right? They're there for 18 years and don't go away. So it's going to be there. And then I could look at the power and say, well, that's to the 3rd, but wait a minute, that's negative 3. So I should see something to the negative 2nd power for my final answer. Now, I might have still trying to do this straight off in my head. I can do that quickly, probably within 5 to 10 seconds. I can make that distinction and looking at the problem and see what my answer should kind of look like. However, what does the coefficient, what is the constant in front of the answer? I might not be able to do that, and usually they have 2 answers that look exactly the same with different coefficients because they want to make sure that you can do it right in the end. So when I rewrite this, I'm going to rewrite this as 3 times the integral of what? I like to put the parenthesis first. If you can rewrite it, it's better to leave use the parenthesis in front first because that's going to be your u. So that you can clearly see that your U-substitution, it's not wrong if you did the x by itself first, but it's going to be what? X to the negative 1 plus 5 to the negative 3 times x to the negative 2 dx. Now, there are many other integration techniques. If you take second-year calculus or second-year single variable calculus, there's all kinds of techniques that say, well, sometimes in a problem like this, U-substitution may not work. In our course, that's not ever going to happen. When you get something like this and you see x's and parentheses and some x's outside, the only way we can integrate this is through U-substitution. And that's a kind of good thing for you. You don't have to memorize, there's another 5 or 6 techniques to integration that is in the other course. And that's all based on just how do we integrate something like this? How do we integrate something like this? That becomes a big portion of the course. So what is my u? And what is my du? Dx. So therefore, move the constants all over. Negative du equals x to the negative 2 dx. There's a negative hanging around. Again, some people like to teach, well, I need a negative, so let me slap on 2 negatives inside the original problem. I don't like that. It works for some, but it just doesn't work. I have to, in the strategy of working with our students, I found this to be the best way. So then that means that 3 hangs around, And I get negative integral, or -1 integral, of what? Remember, this entire piece is just a negative du, and this is my u now. So I get u to the -3 du. And I technically get u to the -3 times negative du, but like again, it's easier just to bring that negative out in front. Which gives me -3 parentheses u to the -2 plus c, so that's a -1/2 in there, the reciprocal, and gives me a final answer of positive 3/2 parentheses 1 over x plus 5 to the -2 plus c. Now, of course, if the problem said to write this answer, let me write it as x to the -1 plus 5. However, the problem tells me, like, write it with only positive powers. I might say that this is 3 over 2 parentheses 1 over x plus 5 squared plus c. That is the same thing. That's the same answer, just not written with negative powers. Sometimes when you look at the answer on a multiple choice, you need to know that those are equivalent.